You know, I checked with the campaign on this question, and they have exchanges with the officials at Arlington Cemetery. They were approved to bring a camera there to document this historic and momentous day that should not be forgotten by any American. And to have a former president there and joining these Gold Star families, I know President Trump wanted to share that with others, especially given the fact that President Biden and Harris, I heard, were invited by some of these family members. They not only didn't come, they didn't even respond to that invitation. And now to have Kamala Harris put this statement out yesterday saying that she stands with these families, she stands with the military and with veterans, you only have to look at the response that came from the Gold Star families of these 13 service members, of how offended they were by that statement, given she has not made any effort, not on that third anniversary or any other time, to call them directly to offer her condolences and even apologies for their decisions that led to the loss of their loved ones.
Patrick Bet-David and his crew at the PBD podcast dive into Tulsi Gabbard's fiery remarks, along with Ely Gabb's strong criticisms, slamming Kamala Harris for blowing off Gold Star families during her visit to Arlington. Gabbard didn't hold back, accusing Harris of a complete disregard for those who've made the ultimate sacrifice, potentially wrecking her political image. Patrick Bet-David also weighs in, piling on the criticism and reacting to Gabbard's pointed statements. In this reaction video, Patrick and the team break down the heated comments, analyze the implications for Harris's political career, and discuss the broader impact on how leaders should honor and respect military families. Let's get into this explosive clip from Valuetainment on the PBD podcast, where Patrick Bet-David and Tulsi Gabbard take Kamala Harris to task.
So has not made any effort yet. Gabbard calls out Harris for skipping Arlington, says Trump team was approved to cover. This is a Daily Caller story. Tulsi Gabbard criticized Kamala Harris for skipping the Arlington Cemetery ceremony honoring the 13th service member killed in Afghanistan withdrawal, saying Harris has not made any effort to console the families and didn't even respond to invitations from some of the Gold Star families. Gabbard also pointed out that Harris's recent statement of the support for the military was met with offense by these family. If you have a clip, Rob, you can play this clip. Go for it.
Volume, Rob.
Clear that the former president was invited in his personal capacity, as you said, by a family of one of the service members who was killed about 2 years ago during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago
Thank
to
you
the day on
correcting me.
August 26th.
Yes, 3 years ago. The question is about the federal law and Arlington's rules that prohibit partisan or political activities at national cemeteries. And the military and also other members of other families who are buried right near there are upset about the campaign filming it and posting the video online. Do you believe that was appropriate?
You know, I checked with the campaign on this question, and they have exchanges with the officials at Arlington Cemetery. They were approved to bring a camera there to document this historic and momentous day that should not be forgotten by any American. And to have a former president there and joining these Gold Star families, I know President Trump wanted to share that with others, especially given the fact that President Biden and Harris, I heard, were invited by some of these family members. They not only didn't come, they didn't even respond to that invitation. And now to have Kamala Harris put this statement out yesterday saying that she stands with these families, she stands with the military and with veterans, you only have to look at the response that came from the Gold Star families of these 13 service members, of how offended they were by that statement, given she has not made any effort, not on that third anniversary or any other time, to call them directly to offer her condolences and even apologies for their decisions that led to the loss of their loved ones.
Do you think that...
And it's great. Like, so this all sparks PBD because...
Let me know if I'm off base here, but I don't see how simply taking pictures at Arlington qualifies as partisan activity. I mean, how is that considered partisan? If they had gone with a huge Trump 2024 banner, I'd understand the concern about crossing a line into political territory. And maybe there were such elements in the photos that I didn't catch. But if it's just about being present, supporting the Gold Star families and having some photos or videos taken, that doesn't strike me as partisan at all. But hey, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you see it differently.
Sparks, PBD, because these families, these Gold Star families that lost their children, called the ex-president because they know that that guy cares, okay? I remember a couple years ago, and I had cousins messaging me, Pat, who are liberals, that were like, it was overheard that Trump said that soldiers are sons of bitches and blah, 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 blah. And sorry for my language. False story. Every single thing this guy does, they have something to say about it. So these Gold Star families, and the bombing, I think, was at the Abbey Gate, and the 13 soldiers that died in Afghanistan in 2021, in which, mind you, those people died because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris incompetence and their leadership. Period. That was one of the worst military decisions we've ever done. We've armed Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda has made a comeback, Tom. I think we spoke about this a couple of months ago. And I'm happy that she made this point. Those families called Trump. They wanted the photos. They wanted it, and he did it out of respect. They called Kamala Harris. They called Joe Biden. You know where Joe Biden was, right? He was at the beach, fondling with his cell phone. Kamala is 4 miles away in her mansion in Washington. She's there. She's right there. No caring
You're
about.
kidding me.
No, she was Pat. She was close. She's in Arlington. Is what I want to say 4 miles where Kamala's house is from there. That's Joe Biden hanging out. You know, Secret Service is guarding him at the beach.
Probably in Delaware.
And just a reminder, and you guys remember this?
No, that's guys.
Here?
That's
No, it's not. That's Joe Biden's beach, bro. What's going on here?
Time out.
I mean, he is watching the border be invaded on vacation.
Time out. For a second.
By the way, I thought that's secret. I'm like, why are they running and running?
Like that seems.
Time out. For a second, you know what I was going to say? They built a wall on the beach for Biden?
Rehoboth, Delaware, or El Paso, Texas?
Oh, my God.
Rob, you pulled up the wrong one.
There.
This is the one.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is so
But go ahead. Finish up your
okay,
thought.
they're on vacation. And just a reminder, in 2021, during the dignified transfer ceremony at Dover Air Force Base, Mr. Joe Biden, who the media always protects, remember, he was sitting there, PBD, and he checked his watch. Like as if he had something better to do than be there, like he was late. And then
Vinny is absolutely right in his remarks to Patrick Bet David. These leaders just don't seem to care. The Gold Star families reached out to Donald Trump because they trust that he genuinely cares about them. You can criticize Trump all you want. I don't agree with everything he's been saying recently, and I think he's lost some of his edge, but it's clear that he shows more concern than the Democrats, particularly Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Their administration appears more focused on maintaining power and pushing their agenda than on supporting military families or addressing the real issues facing the country. It all feels like a display of incompetence. But then again, is it truly incompetence when it comes to the border crisis, or could it be intentional? And what about the debacle in Afghanistan? Was it just a massive blunder or something planned? It's tough to tell. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
on top of that, NBC is now walking back. Kristen Walker was speaking with Tom Cotton, I believe. Rob, you can find this video. At the end, she said that Kamala attended the dignified transfer of the 13 soldiers that we saw, but they said that it implied Kamala was there. She didn't imply. She lied about it, and Kamala was not there. They actually. Oh, Rob, I sent you the tweet. Do you have the tweet? I sent you on Slack. Keep going up, Robbie. Keep going. There's a photo right there, PBD. They had to walk this back and say, our broadcast this morning, we incorrectly, fake news, that both President Joe Biden and Vice President Harris attended a dignified transfer of 13 American service members killed during the Afghanistan withdrawal. Biden was intended, but Harris was not. It's another example of how biased these people are. You can't even go and give respect to soldiers that died because of an incompetent leader without them saying, well, it's disrespectful, it's not this, it's not that. And I just think it's ridiculous. Nothing. He can't do anything right. And I've said it once, Tom, with you, where I said he could run into a burning building, Donald Trump, and save 10 kids, 3 black kids, couple of Asian kids. And you know what they would say? Why didn't he get more black kids out? They'll find something. You know what I mean?
Again, why bother correcting yourselves? We all know the truth. MSNBC and other woke news outlets are notorious for pushing their own narratives. Their audience isn't interested in facts. They just want to live in their echo chamber, ignoring reality while feeding their own biases. So what's the point in admitting a mistake? Honestly, you'd probably get more viewers and make more money if you just doubled down on the lies. The people who watch these networks know they're being lied to, but they don't care because it validates their worldview. Correcting yourselves now and then won't change anything. Those who value honesty aren't tuning in because they see through the charade. As for Trump, no matter what he does, he'll always be painted in a negative light. Vinny's right. Trump could literally run into a burning building, save 10 kids from different backgrounds, and the media would still find a way to criticize him, asking why he didn't save more. It's a never-ending cycle of scrutiny where nothing he does is ever good enough for them. The bias is so blatant, it's almost comical.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of wanted to hear from RFK on this because there's a lot of conversations from the campaign about, oh, well, there's protocols at Arlington, there's protocols for this. Do you know the number one reason visitors to Washington go to Arlington? Number one location that they go, and it's silent. And it's not the tomb of the unknown soldier. It is the hill where JFK is buried, RFK is buried, the child that they had that died after 3 weeks when they were in the White House. Remember, she was pregnant and had a child. The child is buried there. And so that is the number one, I don't want to say attraction, but that is a number one place of remembrance that is visited by people. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is second, but people come there, and I've been there a few times. It's absolutely quiet. I would like to hear what RFK thinks about what Trump did, because RFK's got families there, and it happens to be a lot of people come to visit and remember his family members.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
I honestly don't think RFK would have an issue with it. Anyone with family members buried at Arlington who isn't caught up in woke hysteria would probably appreciate Trump being there to show respect. If you're a rational person without Trump derangement syndrome, you wouldn't see his presence or photos as disrespectful to the fallen or their families. This backlash is just absurd. Tulsi Gabbard took Kamala Harris to task, and it's clear that all this noise about Trump's visit to Arlington is just another attempt to smear him. Patrick Bet-David, Vinny, and anyone else with common sense can see right through it. Trump can't win with these people no matter what he does. They'll always find a way to spin his actions negatively. What are your thoughts on Tulsi Gabbard, Patrick Bet-David, and Vinny calling out Kamala Harris for not showing up at Arlington to honor the Gold Star families while attacking Trump for actually going? Trump genuinely cares, but because he had his picture taken, he's suddenly the villain. It's mind-boggling. Drop your thoughts in the comments about this Tulsi Gabbard and Patrick Bet-David versus Kamala Harris situation. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to help us grow.